Hello, I'm Colin Hurowitz, and you're listening to WITZ, the WITZ, the one place for all things music, art, and performance right here in Douglas County, Oregon. We have a lot of great sponsors to talk about, starting with our first new sponsor, New Visions Eyewear. I'm going to read this to you real quick because it's a kind of a long description. New Visions Eye Care offers comprehensive eye care services and in-demand lenses and frames to Roseburg and the surrounding community. So if you're looking for glasses or contacts as an optometrist, check out New Visions Eye Care as soon as you can. But of course, our traditional sponsors, as always, 10 Down and Split Bar and Grill. We also have the Gene Bechtel School for Music. We also have Edward Jones. We have the Spiderking Studios and the Douglas County Music Association. Let me tell you a little bit about how much your money can help us. If you donate $100 for the whole year, that'll ensure that we have scholarships for students. $500 will make sure they'll have instruments and recording space for students, or performance and practice space. And of course, $1,000 will make sure that we have enough resources to help students who go to UACT, UCC, or any of the other local music events in town, including Douglas County Music Association programs or Douglas County music education programs in general. We really appreciate all of our amazing sponsors. Please consider donating to the nonprofit, the Douglas County Music Association today. We really need your help so we can do all of the great things that the Douglas County Music Association can do. And now for some old news. And I'd like to let everybody know that our fundraiser for the Gene Bechtel School is officially closed. We were able to raise $350. We did not hit our goal, but that's okay. I think Dr. Wheeler will be very happy to receive that donation from us, thanks to all the donations we received from you. So if you donated, thank you so much, and I really appreciate that. It's never fun when people get their stuff broken into, and so we want to help the Gene Bechtel School as best as we can, but I'd like to remind everybody that just because we are not business partners, but we will help each other out, our nonprofit does not exist to only help the Gene Bechtel School or Spiderking for that matter. We are using these facilities and these resources to try to help as many people as humanly possible. I have already received one scholarship application. They want $1,600 from us. I don't know if I can do that, but we'll definitely look into more scholarships for more students as money pours in. If you'd like to help our local artists, musicians, performers, and so on and so forth, please make a donation. You can go to Venmo and search @OregonDCMA and donate that way. You can also write a check to the Douglas County Music Association, and you can bring it to the Gene Bechtel School for Music, or if you happen to know where I am and where I work, you can bring that to me as well. I'd also like to thank Jake Tranter for hosting last week. He did a fantastic job. Now, I have to admit that I made a oops. I sent Jake the script, but I didn't update the script with any new content. So you might have noticed some of the content from last week's episode. I was like, wait a minute, I thought I heard that part already. Well, that's my bad. I accidentally sent a script without updating any of the new information. But you know, Jake, you got on stage and you handled it really well, and I really appreciate that. So we're happy to have you on the show next time I'm gone, or if I go down, or for whatever reason. Mr. Tranter, I appreciate all the work that you do for our nonprofit, so thanks. Our last piece of old news that didn't make it into last week's broadcast, but I will tell you there was a funk thing. This group is called Ocean Boulevard, and let me just read to you what they wrote down. It says, "Get off of that thing and dance." Well, don't you tell me what to do, sir, ma'am. 1 year ago at Too Shy, magic was made as Ocean Boulevard began spreading funky grooves all over the Northwest. I assume they mean the Pacific Northwest. Wink. They have played throughout Oregon and Washington since then and are excited to be back at Too Shy Brewing celebrating our 1 year anniversary. So a year ago, this group Ocean Boulevard started right here in Roseburg, and they played at Too Shy, and they've made their way all across the Pacific Northwest, and it looks like I missed their show last Saturday. It's pretty fantastic to hear about a new funk group. There's also another new funk group in town called Funk Shui or Funk Shui, depending on how you pronounce that. And they also had a funktastic party last week. Also not able to go to that. I'll talk about where I was when it's time for some reviews. But basically, all these cool funk groups in town making some great music and inspiring the local jam session. Of course, I want to thank Widespread Haze for their release of their video and for all of their help and work in Roseburg doing all of the cool things that they're doing. And someday we are going to have Widespread Haze on this show doing a performance just for you. So you'll want to check that out. And now it's time for some reviews. Well, this one's going to be a long one, ladies and gents, because I actually, for the first time in 3.5 years, I traveled. I know. You're like, is that safe? Is it safe to travel? Well, it's never safe to travel, not 100%. You always take a calculated risk when you go anywhere. But our friends, my wife and I, we have a friend named Andy and Chelsea. Now, they live in California, but we met in college. They actually used to live in Chicago, and we were talking to them on a Zoom call or a FaceTime call or whatever, and they were saying, our child, Sylvie, is turning 1 year old, 1 year old, I guess. Would you like to come down and be a part of that birthday party? And Missy and I looked at each other and we said, yes. We didn't even flinch. We were like, all right, let's do it. We bought tickets, we flew down to Los Angeles, and let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you the important parts of my trip so you can kind of get a gist of what I got to experience. Well, first of all, laying out in the nice sun in springtime is really nice. Let's be frank about this. I know that a lot of you Oregonians out there are like, okay, snow, I've had enough of you. And we even had Winter Storm on the program twice. And I thought Winter Storm would have taken the hint by now, but Winter Storm keeps coming back, but it's been less and less aggressive. So Winter Storm, thank you for calming down. You must have sought a therapist or a counselor and talked out your issues. So Winter Storm, I really appreciate you calming down, but if you could stop, I'd appreciate that. But you do you, just like daylight savings time. I wish you would stop doing what you do too. It's really, quite frankly, annoying. I'd like to have a new guest on the show pretty soon called Wind Gust. We'll see when that starts to happen. Be paying attention for the new character Wind Gust. It's about to be spring and it's start to get windy, so just pay attention for that new character coming up soon. It's really important. So, big parts of the LA trip. Being out in the sun is fantastic. Laying in the hammock, not caring. Sylvie's birthday party was fantastic. A lot of good friends that I hadn't seen in years. There were friends of Annie and Chelsea's that I had met before. We had a good time. It was very chill. Everybody chipped in and helped, and Sylvie had a great time. I mean, she's one. She probably won't remember much. But I could tell she was smiling, crawling on the floor, having a great time. And I was really happy that we got to be there. It was really special. I don't get to go to too many one-year-old parties. But the fact that we traveled all the way to Southern California to be a part of this was pretty special. And the fact that it was just so successful, about 15 people came to that, and it was very, very chill, and everyone had a great time. So it was a fantastic opportunity to be a part of that. I'd also like to give a shout out to LA for having so many good food options. You probably don't know this, but Los Angeles has a lot of good food. Who knew? But I should probably clarify. When I say Los Angeles, I don't mean the city. I mean the county. So we weren't actually in Los Angeles. We stayed in Redondo Beach. And if you don't know where that is, it's on the coast. Right, Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, and Hermosa Beach, and El Segundo, right in that area. Missy and I got the fortunate experience to travel to all of those different coastal areas in the LA County. And I'm telling you, man, it is nice weather, decent people, good infrastructure, expensive. I'll tell you something. We found a one-bedroom, yeah, a one-bedroom, one-bathroom townhouse for $6,800 a month. No pets. Good luck. I don't know what kind of job you would have to afford a house like that. But there are so many different careers out there. Who knows? Pick the one that's right for you. If you can muster $6,800 a month for a one-bedroom townhouse, be my guest. But I was shocked. I was a little shocked by that, but it is Redondo Beach. It is Manhattan Beach. You got to spend the money if you want to live in the nice places in the world. But the good news is I love Oregon, so we're doing just fine out here, and I appreciate that. Let's talk about LA traffic. No. Don't get it. Sorry, guys. Now, the thing is, I can deal with traffic jams on the highway all day. That wasn't the problem. So when it says 15 minutes, that doesn't mean, or excuse me, when it says 15 miles, it does not mean 15 minutes like it does in this area. 15 minutes could be an hour or more. It's kind of insane. And the thing about LA drivers that I noticed, it's almost like everybody's trying to get in front of everybody, but we're all going the same direction and nobody goes any faster. It's kind of a weird mind complex that I saw. All right, well, I better pull in front of this guy so I can get to that destination 0.01 seconds faster. I don't understand this complex, but it made me feel very unsafe, especially when I was driving in the LA traffic. People not watching the road, people not listening or not looking at the signs and not doing the proper road things. It was a very scary experience. So I don't recommend driving in LA. And here's my last little bit. Missy and I had the opportunity to go to West Hollywood and walk the Hall of Fame, or the Walk of Fame, I should say. And I got a decent picture with Weird Al Yankovic's star. I got a few stars for my own records. But man, I had a different idea of West Hollywood than I realized. I thought West Hollywood was gonna be like shiny and clean and beautiful, and it wasn't. It was actually kind of It's kind of nasty. The ground looked like it hadn't been washed in months, and maybe it hadn't. There was a distinct smell in the air that was not pleasant. It smelled like, you know, bathroom stuff. And it was really unfortunate because I had this idea that Hollywood was going to be glamorous and Gwen Stefani would just be walking up and down the Walk of Fame, just looking at everybody and waving. But I saw like a Spider-Man, like a poor attempt at a Spider-Man. Some rappers with amplifiers that were cutting out, and so, you know, it was almost like Vegas, but it was actually almost like a lesser form of what Vegas offers. And we're talking about Hollywood here, so my idea of Hollywood and what I saw did not mix. Apparently I was supposed to go to North Hollywood, the Hills. That's where all those cool people are doing their own thing. But yeah, if you want to do the Walk of Fame and check out all the stars, you're welcome to. You may run into some unpleasant people. I actually got cornered. I'll repeat that. I got cornered by a couple of gentlemen. Now, nobody told me this, and I don't blame anybody. Maybe I should have been paying attention. If you ever choose to do the Hollywood Walk of Fame, if anybody hands you anything, don't take it. I'm not joking. They hand you a CD, a business card, a flyer, a pamphlet. Do not engage. Because what I witnessed was, I'm used to people handing me CD samples. Guy hands me a CD, and I'm like, cool, a CD. And that was apparently enough for another person to walk up, get this close to my face, and, you know, the whole thing about getting mugged is about distracting you in broad daylight. Like, look over here while I reach into your pockets and take out your credit card. I'm telling you guys, do not take CDs from these nice people. Don't accept any pamphlets. You know, for all you know, don't even look at anybody. I mean, it's sad. You'll see people just asleep on the ground. I mean, it's pretty warm, and it makes me sad, but I don't think these people want anything from us or from anybody else, but it was just sad to just see people just literally they didn't even have a sleeping bag. Not even a pillow, just asleep on the sidewalk and just whatever. I mean, it was pretty sad. But anyway, so if you really want to check out West Hollywood or Beverly Hills, do so at your own risk. And don't forget, yeah, I say this a lot, but I'll say it again. Every second Wednesday at the Universalist Unitarian Congregation Church, Sean Shea hosts his songwriting class. And if you didn't hear about this, go to our Facebook page. Sean Shea actually took a gig, a job at UCC teaching music formally as a class at the college. So if you really want to learn more about positive songwriting for change, please go to UCC and register for Sean Shea's songwriting class. You won't regret that. Also, don't forget that on Tuesdays, Sunnyside has their open mic from 6 to 10, and Thursdays, Drapers has their open mic from 6 to 10. If that changes, if somebody would let me know, that'd be fantastic, but from what I understand, this is current and up to date. Coming up! Now, let's talk about Spiderking, because if you didn't get a chance to see Trial by Fire, here, I'll read this to you. Check this out. Join us for 2 additional showings of Trial by Fire on April 15th at 6 p.m., and April 16th at 1 p.m. I'll say that one more time. That's April 15th at 6 p.m. and April 16th at 1 p.m. Don't get your mind all confused. Admission is free. You'll want to come check out Trial by Fire. I'm going to try to go because I missed the preview and I would really want to go see this movie. It's about veterans, PTSD, and it's a pretty serious discussion topic. So come check out Trial by Fire. That's April 15th and 16th at the 2 times previously mentioned. You can help raise awareness for veterans with PTSD by supporting this powerful film. See you there. Hashtag Trial by Fire, hashtag PTSD awareness, and hashtag support our veterans, please. I appreciate that, thanks. Calling all teens. What's a teen? You know, what an interesting question. A teen would probably be anybody from ages 13 to 19 would be my guess. Maybe they don't want 19-year-olds. And if you're 20, you're out of the loop, sorry. 20 is not a teen unless you're the year 2013, then you'd be the 20 teens. Like the year, right? 2013, 2014, but those are over. It's 2023 now. So the 20 teens, they're gone. Sorry, guys. Just regular teens from 13 to 19. I'll read this to you too. Are you an aspiring filmmaker, actor, writer, or director? I'm none of those things. Join us for the oh God, here we go. The Up to Us, it's spelled, okay, it literally says UP2US. I've never seen this before. This is Up to Us, Now's youth media project, and meet like-minded individuals to create a powerful public service announcement. I'm gonna tab over because I'm gonna read this to you. This is a little intense, so check this out. This wants you to know It's not just one day, it's actually a series of classes. You can come join us and you'll develop scripts, you'll direct commercials, you'll do sound recording, and you'll produce a television commercial. Who produces television commercials? I wish I knew somebody that did that. Anyway, we need writers, actors, production crew, makeup artists, and anybody who wants to sweep the floors. We need floor sweepers. Here is the calendar. You can go to Facebook to get a more detailed look at this calendar, but I'll read this to you. April 7th. Now, it says 5:30 to 7:30 for each day. April 7th is orientation. April 14th, so a week later, would be script development and storyboarding. April 21st will be filmmaking basics, like you need a camera and people to do the job. Yeah, for real. April 28th will be final scripts and rehearsal, and then April 29th will be film shoot day. So it's a series of events. You really want to check this out if you're a teen. If you're 20 or 12, go home. Sorry, guys. Got nothing for you. But you'll want to check this out if you're a teenager, especially if you want to be an aspiring filmmaker of any kind. Look forward to having you. The fabulous Del Montes, and I'm sure you remember them from the program, they're going to be playing at Urban Street Pizza, and I really like this new place. It seems to be offering a lot of places for musicians to come and play. So check out the fabulous Del Monte. That is April 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. I'll say that one more time. April 8th, that's this week. You'll want to go check out the Del Montes, the fabulous Del Montes, at Urban Street Pizza, NYC, I believe. And you want to do that, that's April 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. Check them out. I am deeply sorry to have to say this, but our guest, Tori Rose, had a family emergency today. We were going to have her on the show, and whenever she gets her stuff all figured out, we will have her on the broadcast. I do apologize. I like to have a guest every week, but sometimes this just happens, and we have to be understanding, and we will have Tori on the show. I actually have some new guests I'd like to bring on the show in the next few weeks. Next week's show, let me tell you this. Next week's show is going to be quite a doozy because we're actually going to interview 3 people this time. We are going to have Sam Starnes on the show. She's directing the I always say this wrong, the Midsummer Night's Dream at UACT, and that's going to be a fantastic show. I'm going to go ahead and go to that show April 23rd. And then, of course, the 2 middle school choir directors, that's Stacy Atwell-Kaiser, and of course, Emily Cochran, who's just joined our program this year, and they're co-teaching this big, amazing musical. I'm forgetting what it is right this second. It starts with a U. It's not Uncharted. It is, I will get that for you. I apologize for not knowing right this second. And here's the good news, though. Next week, we're going to have 3 different people, including Emily Cochran and Stacy Atwell-Kaiser, and they're going to talk about their amazing show, The Descendants. There it is. The Descendants, which is like a Disney mashup thing, and a couple of my students are in the production, and we're going to meet the middle school choir directors. They're going to talk about their show. We're going to have pictures and images. So next week's broadcast will be very, very long, about an hour, I would think. And we have lots of different shows coming up. April is a busy month for shows if you're not aware. There's shows at the high school, middle school. There's shows all over the place this month. We'll try to cover as much as possible. But it's funny, ever since St. Paddy's Day passed, it feels like there haven't been as many shows as there was. But we're looking to advertise and continue to let everybody know what shows are happening in this area, and you should tune into all of the shows, especially if you know somebody in them. Support your local artists, support local music. Go check out these shows, and I can't wait to interview my friends Sam, Emily, and Stacy next week. Well, that seems to be all the time we have left for today. Tune in next week for an exciting new episode featuring Douglas County's local art, music, and performance. And once again, our new sponsor is New Visions Eyewear, or Eye Care, I should say. New Visions Eye Care. Check that out. Get some new glasses, get some contacts, see your local optometrist. But of course, as usual, our sponsors include 10 Down Bowling, Splits Bar and Grill, Edward Jones, the Gene Bechtel School for Music, Spiderking Studios, and the Douglas County Music Association. We appreciate you tuning in today, and we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye, everyone.